So, as we open up the official first session of this adventure, everyone here has been making their way to the same place. And we will open this adventure in the city of Elversalt, with its towering stone tower in the center of the city, atop which hovers the gift of a Monitor, a second sun that shines bright light down upon the streets at all hours of the day. This is quite literally the city that never sleeps. And a handful of strange bedfellows, shall we say, are making their way within the gates, within the span of a couple of days of each other. At some point, each one of these figures received some form of contact with an enigmatic message at the end of it. Most of them anyway, with perhaps one exception. But we will begin with Nick's character. So, as you received this strange form of contact with its bizarre instructions, what do you do as you are here among the crowded, colorful streets of this bustling city?
As this hooded figure looks at the nearest alleyway. Does there seem to be a dark, possibly shady looking lane, or is it more open?
You know, it's hard to... You know what? Roll me a perception check.
First roll of the campaign.
Oh! Set the tone.
Ooh.
Let's go!
Good tone. Good tone.
Good tone, good tone.
Tone, you know,
Good
if you
job,
put it on its side, it's an infinity sign, so that seems like a good omen. Okay, well, as this hooded figure looks around these bustling streets and shifts their eyes to this small alleyway, looking for some hint of shadiness, the brilliant glow of a Monitor's gift above the city is pretty much directly overhead at all times. So even these small paths, which would normally be shaded heavily, are illuminated in this light. There are only very small puddles of shadow at the very edges of the walls, everywhere you look. A very safe-seeming place to travel, as everything is out in the open, in a way, but not quite what you're looking for.
I guess I would go further into the main street, seeing if something would catch my eye.
Okay. You continue on into the streets of Elversalt. Here's a question. Are you on foot at this point?
I would think it would be too hard to travel on horseback at this point.
Okay. Then you stay atop your gray mare as you continue trotting through the streets. You would think that people would quickly get out of your way, but people are very brazen and bold in these streets and pretty much ignore you until you're almost directly on top of them. It's a bit of a challenge sometimes, not running people over.
Wait, I thought I was not on horseback.
I thought you said you were on horseback.
No, I was saying it would be hard to traverse on horseback.
Oh, I thought you said it wouldn't be hard to traverse.
Don't worry, I am
We're
just
off to a good
plowing
start.
through these civilians.
Workable strategy.
Okay, you're not on horseback. Did you leave your horse at a stable?
I'm
Or
assuming that there's a stable near the front of the entrance of Eversult.
There's a very large and quite crowded stable with all manner of travelers leaving their horses for a while. So you are indeed able to leave your horse behind and avoid trampling people to death.
That's a good thing.
Mhm. As you strike off through the streets on foot, looking for something. As you continue through these mazes of wide cobblestone streets with colorful market stalls lining each one, and the cries of hawkers trying to sell their wares on every side, roll me another perception check.
All right, second roll.
Yay!
It's better.
It is better. Just barely clearing the DC. As you walk and you come into a little clear area between some of the crowds, a bit of motion catches your eye, not ahead of you or to the sides, but beneath you. And you notice that your own shadow is flickering madly. And as you look down at it, it seems to steady itself and slowly shifts to point in a particular direction on the street.
The answer is simple then. Follow this very nice looking pointing shadow.
You follow it and treat it like a compass as you navigate through the streets. It moves slowly now, but steadily, guiding you in a northeastern direction. As you eventually come to the outskirts of the main market hub, here you find streets that are less bustling, less busy. Still with some traffic, but not as much, and different kind of traffic. Not really travelers and people looking to purchase wares, but occasional wagons of people carting crates and barrels around. People who look like they're working, not necessarily shopping. Eventually, following your shadow takes you down a series of some cobblestone steps in the street to an overhang where a bridge arches above you and provides some very rare shade. And there, set in the side of a building, is a set of double doors, which your shadow suddenly points directly to, before seeming to fade back into the normal small pool of shadow at your feet.
A little cautiously, taking a few steps up. Figure takes out a hand and knocks on the door twice.
Okay. You knock twice, and there's a short pause before a resonant voice shouts, "Come in, come in!"
And hand reached out, turns it, and opens up the door.
Okay. As you push through these double doors, you come into a surprisingly mundane-looking space, perhaps. It's a warehouse of sorts, with crates and barrels and all sorts of goods just stacked neatly in different spots around the relatively bare room. A window at the far end is letting in some comforting light. And in this room, there are two people. One of them, immediately standing almost directly in front of you, is this figure. Why can't I select you? Hang on. Okay. As this lanky, golden-furred tabaxi greets you with this big smile on his face. And here you are! Welcome! Oh my goodness! I wasn't expecting you to come so soon. This is wonderful. Silver, did you expect her to come so soon? Looking back towards the other figure in this room, who is sitting farther back, kind of reclining on one of the crates, with what looks like a mug of some steaming beverage in one hand. There's this figure. This somewhat androgynous-looking winter eladrin with silver hair and some gold tattoos, who looks much more low energy, maybe, than the other person in the room. And they just kind of wave a hand and are like, "Yes, hon, we went over this. We've had some very specific arrival times planned out, remember? Although this one actually took a little bit longer than expected."
Excuse my tardiness. The directions were not so clear. Taking off the purple hood on the cloak, they would see a fair lady with curled hair, kind of like in a bun, bit white, but more importantly, parts of the hair and also her face look like opal and crystal. I am here to discuss what was brought to me. Should we find a few seats?
as you take your hood down and speak, you see that the figure in front of you, his face lights up immediately. He's like, "Oh my goodness, I've never seen." I'm sorry. Yes, of course. We'd love to discuss what was sent to you, as he glances over back towards the other figure in the room, who nods and gestures towards the crates all around. Yes, yes, please have a seat. Sorry to give you all these theatrics.
I don't mind at all.
Great, great. Why don't we all have a seat, huh? As they look up at the tabaxi, who is still kind of standing there with an excited posture. He goes, "Oh, right, yes, yep, absolutely." And he will go over and sit next to the Eladrin on one of the crates. Sorry, not the most comfortable of places, but somewhere nice and discreet suited our needs best, so here we are.
I have no problem with that. And as for myself, I am Estelle from the Far Star.
Ah, Estelle! The tabaxi immediately stands back up and reaches out with one paw to shake your hand.
And the hand received with a second hand on the other, kind of almost like a clasp. It's very nice to meet you, with a warm smile.
It is met with an even bigger warm smile full of sharp little cat teeth as the tabaxi enthusiastically shakes your hand. Maybe a little too enthusiastically. Ah, yes! It's so wonderful to meet you. I've not met anyone from the Far Star yet. Oh, my name is, well, call me Gold. And this is my lovely partner, Silver. Gesturing over his shoulder. Silver just kind of gives a little nod. Hey.
Those are nice names.
Silver smiles at this. Oh, thanks. Thought of them myself. I thought they fit. In any case, right, back to the matter at hand. So, Estelle of the Far Star, you received our message, I'm assuming.
Yes. Yes, we did.
Okay. Alright. Silver kind of shifts in size at this, and it's like, let me explain this one, alright? Gold is like, right, and we'll just sit quietly on the edge of a crate. As Silver kind of hunches forward a little bit with cup in hand and looks at you more seriously. Alright, so a few days ago, a little more than that at this point, we received word, heard some rumors, that some of your people were here in the city being prepared for auction. A horrible state of affairs, but so make an insight check.
Yep.
Oh yeah, off to a good start. Silver kind of pauses a little bit as if collecting their thoughts. Oh, alright. Maybe I should start at the beginning. So, This here, gesturing toward Gold, is the head of the Gold Standard Trading Company, which is, if I do say so myself, one of the best trading companies in the city. Gold kind of shuffles with a big smile. So we've got plenty of connections. We hear a lot of things through the grapevine, and we also, hear some things through the local information broker group. Ever heard of the Trained Eye?
Takes a moment, deep in thought. No? Shakes her head.
That makes sense. So, they're kind of like I don't want to say a spy network, but they know things. They know lots of things. And they're kind of hard to pin down anywhere. But they're very active here in Elder Salt. And they are kind of an easy way to look for a particular good or service that you want to find here. So a lot of people know how to kind of reach through the grapevine and contact them, and they'll tell you if there's something you're looking for here. So I talked to them. They said that according to their sources, there were about 4 people who were supposedly going to be auctioned off on the black market in about 10 days' time. So, of course, we immediately contacted Ghana. And while I'm delighted that you came so quickly, it turns out that that estimation of a 10-day was perhaps a bit long. Apparently some buyer swooped in and purchased 3 out of 4 a few days ago.
I see. No name?
Well, I did ask the Trained Eye to look into it, so hopefully they'll be getting some information about that buyer shortly. But in the meantime, I wasn't about to take the risk that the last one would suffer a similar fate. So I went in and purchased them myself. And they turn to this small box that's beside them, and they kind of lean close to it and say in a soft voice, "Hey dearie, you okay in there? Are you ready to come out now? There's a friend here to see you." And you hear a very, very small, muffled voice from within the box. No, don't open it. I want to stay here. Okay, all right.
Estelle leans in. Hello? Can you hear me? It's all right. We have someone to protect you now.
Protect? You hear the small voice from within the box.
Yes. As long as I'm around, no one will hurt you. By my name, Estelle.
There's a long silence. And then the small voice speaks up again. Okay. Oh, can you open the box just a little?
Of course. And hand on it, slowly opening up just a little bit.
As you open it up just a little bit, you peer inside this small dark crate, and lying at the bottom of it, you see this small dagger. Or is it? It's shaped like a dagger, but a little bit off. There are parts of it that bulge out and look like they're not the right texture. As you hear this small burbling voice. Who is Estelle?
That's me. And her face kind of peers into the box. I'm from a place where we have a home. I'm here to rescue you.
Home?
Yes.
The blobby dagger is silent for another minute. Okay. Sure. Home. I want to see what that means. That mean you're ready to come out now, dearie? Okay. Silver nods to you.
And with that, the hand opens up the box slowly.
As you open up the box, you see the small, oddly shaped dagger visibly shudder. Right? Okay, home. How do I go there?
I'll be escorting you. And the others that were taken. Once I rescue them, we'll all leave. Until then, I'll be right at your side.
Okay.
Little one, do you have a name?
No.
Okay. Think about what you want to be called. Right now, I'll just call you Little One.
Okay, I'll think about it.
Can you move? Is it hard for you to get out of there?
As you see the edges of this dagger shape kind of wobble a little bit.
Not supposed to.
It's okay. You won't have to be like that. Forced to. Stay still.
Not gonna hurt me.
I will never hurt you, little one. I promise that.
Make a persuasion check. There's a short pause. And then, slowly, you get a sense of a kind of dawning hope that radiates from the small dagger's form, almost tangibly. And you can sense the deep breath as the edges of this dagger begin to shift and waver. And slowly it begins to unfurl until there is a small blobby form in its place of this lavender kind of material. And very slowly and painfully, as if it has not done so in a long time, this small mock creeps slowly up the side of the crate and out over the rim and balances precariously there.
Estelle goes to a knee, a hand close to it. I knew you could do it.
Hesitates.
Thank you.
It will kind of slowly clamber over onto your hand. This is a very small mock. Maybe one of the smallest ones you've seen. Maybe about the size of... can't use something that fits the setting. About basketball sized.
Okay. There we go. Say, have you eaten?
Been a little while. But I'm okay. I'm okay. I don't need. I'm fine.
Hey, Gold. Do you have anything around here? You could rustle up?
as you look over and see Gold with big cat-like eyes shining as if with unshed tears. Yes, right. Hold on, just a second. I'll get you something delicious. And he like scrambles up and starts hurrying around between crates and boxes, being like, was it over here? No, those are tea leaves. Over here, sure.
I can't say about the company, but he's quite a great guy. Looking over to Silver.
Silver's also looking over to Gold, but glances back over with a big smile on their face. Yeah, he's alright. Anyway, glad that you came. Seems like they sent the right person. I've been trying to coax that little one out of their little crate for, oh gosh, 6 hours? Anyway.
Yes. As soon as possible, will try to track down the spire.
Well, don't you worry about that, because I've already got the most well-informed people in the city working on it for us. So, they should be able to get that information for you soon. And will, of course, happily tell you when they do. But we were hoping that maybe you could do us a favor in return.
A good deed deserves another. I thank you for what you've done already for this little one.
Oh, no problem. No, that's. What was I gonna do? It was nothing.
As Gold comes bustling back and is like, I mean, technically speaking, 4,500 gold is nothing, but yes, agreed 100% with the thought. Anyway, here you go. These are some very delicious, imported, it's a special kind of bread that is only made in Sembia. Care to try some? As he holds out these, like, flat looking pieces of bread, slightly fluffy.
Thank you. Come on now. You make a little like cute sound as kind of like slowly moving it towards the mock that she's holding, little one. Open up.
As this like large gaping kind of indent opens up in the surface of this mock, and they will consume this bread.
There you go.
It disappears into the lavender goo, and there is silence for a couple of moments.
That was. Is it okay for me to have this stuff?
Yes, it is. And when we go back home, you can have other things too.
Okay, that sounds. Yes, please.
Of course. As for that one thing that you needed,
Right.
looking over at Gold.
Right. Yes. Okay. So we've got a job that we are looking for some people to do. I'll warn you, it's gonna be a kind of long one. But along with any information that we get on this matter, of course, we'll also pay you handsomely, naturally.
I don't need the money. I just need the information.
You see Silver nodding approvingly, and Gold is like, "Don't need the money. Everyone needs the money. It's kind of important to have if you want to get anywhere." And at this moment, we're gonna switch perspectives. As we go to another person who has been given interesting instructions. Except maybe not quite as interesting as Astel's. We're gonna switch over to... Hey Josh, ready for your entrance.
Bring it on.
So, you had the good luck of receiving actual directions to get to this place. Did you follow them?
I did. However, I am no longer carrying the box. The minute it started to get heavier, I found the largest person on the street that I could and handed them gold to carry it for me.
Amazing. Okay.
I don't know his name, but he's just a larger humanoid of some kind.
Okay. As you are walking through the cobblestone streets beside this big burly tiefling man.
I just call him Sir.
He looks a little disgruntled by this strange job that he's picked up, but he's not going to go against the coin. Sir, yourself. All right. Where are we going? Where do you need this?
It should be right this way. We're looking for a warehouse.
Oh, that narrows it down. Kind of gestures with his head at the outskirts, which, as you now notice, a lot of the buildings in this street are warehouses of some sort. Got a name? Got any particular warehouse? You just want me to take this to the nearest one?
Well, it should belong to the Gold Standard Company?
Oh, those guys. Oh, jeez. Going the wrong way. Didn't you say you had directions to this place?
Yes, but, I'm new here, so if you have better directions, then I will gladly continue following you.
Okay, fine. Kind of looks exasperated and takes the lead through the streets. And after a while, you come to the set of double doors in the shaded nook under a bridge. And you can hear some talking coming from inside. I think this is the place. I got a buddy who works for them. I think this is the last place I saw him take stuff.
Is it polite in this world to knock before opening doors?
Very slowly, this buff man's head turns on a swivel to look at you. What? That... in this world... you know what? We're gonna leave that aside. None of my business. The sanity of my potential employers. Yeah, it's usually nice to knock.
Oh, thank you for letting me know. Could you knock for me, please?
You see his expression grow even more disgruntled as he just looks at you, looks down at the heavy box held in two hands, looks at the doors, and then looks back at you. I don't know, can I?
Well, that is the question, sir.
I swear to all the gods, this is the last fucking time I'm gonna fucking... He steps forward and is like, fucking gold coins, remember, okay. Hey, you gonna give me an extra gold for this?
I mean, if the knock is particularly well performed, of course.
At this, actually, he bashes his head somewhat lightly into the door and knocks on it with his horn as this loud, resounding thud echoes around the street.
I never considered using one's head to knock. This place is amazing. Yes, here, have an extra coin, sir.
Just put it in my damn pocket, fucking asshole.
Zahir does so.
As you hear a voice from within, oh, come on in, yeah, the more the merrier.
Zahir
tiefling
finally
man stares
pushes
at
on
you.
the door. Well, I think I can push, yes?
Yes.
So, push on the door.
As you push your way through the doors, with this increasingly grumpy man following along behind you with the box, you step into the scene of this golden-furred tabaxi, this winter eladrin, this woman with beautiful opalescent skin and white hair, and a small lavender blob just slowly consuming bread in the middle.
Greetings. My name is Zahir al-Hilal ibn Usman Muhib, and I am here seeking the one known as Silver with a delivery.
At this, Gold, who had been standing excitedly by the door, kind of looks put out a little bit and looks over at Silver, who raises one hand. Oh, hey, that's me. Welcome. Hey. Oh. As they kind of take in the scene of you standing there with this other guy holding your box. Oh. So, you're Noor's brother, huh?
Yes, that is a singular pleasure. And I assume you are Silver.
Oh, that's me. Welcome. Come on in. Have a seat. Gather round. Is this a friend of yours?
Yes, this is Sir, and he's carrying this delivery for you. Sir, if you will put the box down next to Silver, I relieve you of your duties.
Sir looks increasingly put out. It's like, oh, I'd be happy to. And just kind of strolls over, drops the box from a decent height next to Silver, who kind of jumps and is like, whoa, hey. And then is just gonna kind of stomp his way back toward the door.
Fare thee well, friend.
He raises a middle finger over his shoulder as he walks out and slams the doors behind him.
Zahir throws one back up, not really understanding what that gesture is for.
Oh my.
Ooh. Right. Okay. Oh boy, this is gonna be interesting. Okay. Well, thanks so much for the deliveries here. Silver goes over and tries to pick up the box and is like, oh, right, that. And is gonna instead just kind of sit next to it. So, delivery from Nor. I guess you didn't take a peek, did you?
No, that was specifically not to be done.
Oh, and you specifically didn't do it. Alright. Make an
I like
insight
to
check. Oh, go ahead.
Can do. Oh, I consider myself a smart enough person not to do the exact opposite of what someone tells you to do. Insight is a skill on this list. Got it.
So, looking at Silver as they say this, their expression seems kind of conflicted at this. They seem torn between being somewhat approving and being bored. They look bored by this decision. Oh, okay, all right. Got someone who follows the rules. That's good. That's a good sign.
Well, you'll have to understand my circumstances. If this were any other of my siblings, I would be 100% sure that whatever's in that box is either a bomb or some abominable creature sent here to kill you. With Noor, it's at least 50-50, so.
Alright. Well, at least you're self-aware. That's good. Well then, I'll just go ahead. You see as Silver takes out some lock-picking tools and begins slowly working at the lock. Anyway, yeah, so welcome. Good to have you here. How are you finding your visit to this beautiful city, huh?
It is quite nice. I love that glowing orb in the middle. That's very interesting.
Gold pipes up at this. Ah, yeah, a Monitor's gift. Ooh, yeah, there's a more iconic symbol of the prosperity and brilliance of Elver Salt. I've yet to see it. It's quite a sight, huh?
Yes, though if I stare at it for too long, bright spots appear in my vision, so I stopped that.
Oh, buddy. Yeah, good call. Maybe don't do that. Wouldn't recommend it.
The same thing happened when I did it to the orb in your sky.
Gold kind of looks a little lost at this and tries to trade a look with Silver, but Silver's very busy with the lock, so instead we'll trade that look with Astel, being like,
She giggles a little bit. You'll lose your eyesight if you do that.
Oh, well, thank you for letting me know. That is very good to know.
yeah, by the way, that's called the sun. The sun is the name of the one in the sky, so welcome, I guess, to the planet.
Why, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
As you hear a click, and Silver kind of smiles and nods to himself. I knew it. All right. Typical Nor with the fire trap, making it very stereotypical. as they carefully pop open the lid and look inside and take out just one thing, and it is a piece of parchment. Ooh, alright, what do we got here? As they start laughing. right. Interesting. Well, thank you so much for bringing this delivery to me. So, Zahir, right?
That is I.
So, your great sister Noor says that you're looking to do some interesting big things around here. And she's really singing your praises in this letter. This is a little letter of recommendation. So hey, I guess the delivery is you.
Oh, well, I will have to check myself for fire traps later.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. As they kind of look you over. Did you describe Zahir's appearance already?
I have not. So Zahir is like 5'10", dark, kind of obsidian skin with flaming hair and a flaming beard. Flaming in that they're ginger, but also slightly burning at the tips. Fire genasi.
Yeah, I think it might be a little bit too late for the checking for fire traps thing. But anyway, welcome. As it happens, I'd mentioned to your sister recently something about a problem we've been having. Right, Gold? Ah, yes. Oh, you're talking about it even to your contacts and oh, that's sweet. You didn't have to do that. But I wanted to. You know I love nothing more than bitching to everyone who will listen. Anyway, there's a job that we're looking to get done, and it's potentially some big important stuff. So, if you help us with it, it'll be a great first step for making lots of connections here in the prime material plane.
Well, I don't have any other things to go off of, and I was going to inquire where one might perform local heroics, so if this is one of those things, then I don't see why not.
Excellent. Awesome. Love to hear it. So we'll discuss more details once we've got everyone here.
Estelle gets up from the table, still carrying the little one, walking up to this figure. It seems as though we'll be working together. I am Estelle of the Far Star. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. And does like a small little bow.
Oh, yours as well. As I've said, I'm Zahir al-Hilal ibn Usman Muhib, and it is my deepest pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Is it hard to keep saying your name? It's quite long.
Oh no, you may simply call me Zahir. It is polite when introducing oneself to use your full name and title, as it denotes rank, ancestry, prestige, and other significant, notable details.
Right. That's what that was about.
Yes, now that we are acquainted, you may simply call me Zahir.
In your arms, the little blob kind of shifts a little bit.
Are all names that long? Do I need a name?
A name's a very important thing. For us. But yours doesn't need to be long. I'm just Estelle.
Okay, that sounds better.
You hear the little blob mumbling to itself. And with this, we're gonna switch perspectives again. as we go back out onto the streets to another figure who had received less direct instructions. Hey, Max.
It's me. I'm next.
Timing.
Okay, so you received the same enigmatic instructions of keep your eyes trained on the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do you go about following those?
I look around. I see that there are no shadows. I look to my bag to ask someone if they see a shadow. Do I notice my own?
As you look down to your bag to ask someone about shadows, roll me a perception check.
Perception.
You got this. You can't be as worse as me.
I accidentally rolled it with disadvantage, but it's okay because the first roll's an 11 anyway. I in fact did not roll worse than you. I rolled exactly the same. Score.
Yes, indeed. So as you look down to inquire about this, you are able to notice that in spite of the fact that the two suns being so high in the sky together basically erase most shadows from the people walking around and even the buildings in most cases, yours is still present. And if anything, is longer than you would expect it to be, and pointing in the wrong direction compared to the sun's.
Curious. Well, these individuals certainly are more capable than I even originally anticipated. Very well. I will follow.
Okay. You also use your shadow as a compass to guide you through the bustling streets. And it eventually leads you to the same much-used double doors, where now you can hear a few voices within.
I stopped to listen for just a moment, just to kind of get an idea of how many people are in there, before I open the doors myself.
Okay. Listening? Yeah, there are at least a few. You hear a feminine voice, a couple of more masculine voices, a couple of voices that it's hard to make out from this distance, and as you push in, you walk into this warehouse, where you're greeted with this scene of everybody kind of gathering around, and Astel and Zahir still talking to each other over Astel holding this small blobby mock.
You would all see a relatively tall man, gray skin, white hair, dark robes. Will give a little bit of a bow as he enters.
Estelle bows back.
Greetings. Who might you be?
Given you're asking that, you're not the one who sent me the letter.
Oh no.
Silver, another errand?
As you see, Silver raises their hand. Oh, hi. Yeah, I didn't write that letter, but I asked the people to send it who sent it, so I guess that's me. Name's Silver. This here's my partner, Gold. Welcome. So, you must be...
Bill waits for them to finish their sentence.
They pause. They reach into their pocket and check a crumpled up piece of parchment.
So you do know.
Oh, yeah, of course, I know, you know? We take great pride in screening all of our potential employees. Gold is off in one corner trying not to laugh. Pause. Pause for just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
BRB.
All right.
Bio break time. BRB.
Josh,
fast
that here
moving
is
so
an
far.
interesting one.
You a handsome son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And Estelle seems to be a
That's not-
LSD trip.
Estelle is pretty.
Mm,
Look like
Mhm.
4 hits of acid.
yeah.
That looks like she takes an entire classroom of like ADHD kids and just keeps them in check.
I'm not gonna lie, I was picturing a different spelling of her name, and my mental image was an old lady.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to stop imagining her as Estelle Natural Born of the Void.
Yeah. That's an entirely different beast all on its own.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking of this Estelle.
Well, as a moth, I guess it just depends on how she's feeling that day.
Yeah.
Bill is rolling dice? What the bullshit is this?
Hmm.
All the bullshit.
Yeah. This is fine, guys.
This is totally fine.
And we already have a mascot.
Yeah. It's literally a ditto.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm back.
Okie dokie.
Is everyone back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or did
I think
anyone
so.
even leave?
No
No.
one left.
Everyone was
We
busy
talked about
thinking
our
their characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had differing mental images of Estelle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of images, let's go back to the scene. So, Silver's kind of rustling through papers, checking for which name on this list of names it is.
Let me save you a moment. A pleasure to meet you. My name is Wilman.
Oh, right. Yep, that makes sense. Wilman. Hi, welcome. Nice to see you. So, heard that you're looking for a bit of information, and we might be able to help you with that, as we've got some connections with people who know lots of stuff.
Yes, I do find it interesting just how much information you seem to know.
I mean, based on what we were told, you're kind of a well-known figure. Now, made yourself into a bit of a folk hero, saving one of Elturel's most prominent priests or something? I don't know, I
Under
just
an
got the
alias.
summary. Oh, was it? Hmm. Man, these guys are good. I don't know how they get their info.
Yes.
In any case, so, info is their trade, and they owe us some favors. Oh, let me introduce ourselves. Sorry, my name's Silver. This over here is my partner, Gold. Hello. So I run the Gold Standard Trading Company, and we're kind of looking for some people to do a bit of a job for us. And my dear partner, Silver, here told me that they thought that they could pull a favor with the trained eye and get them to find us someone who would do this in exchange for information from them. Alright, you didn't have to put it so bluntly. Anyway. So, they know lots of stuff. Seems like they know some stuff about you. If you would like, we can put in a good word for you so that you can get some information from them in exchange for a service.
That would be most appreciated.
Wonderful. Well, that being said, here are some of your new co-workers. Enjoy your meet and greet.
So, finally looking over to Estelle and Zahir and giving them full attention. Notices the mock. It's been a while
Greetings.
since Greetings. It's been a moment since I've seen a mock before.
We are few and far between.
Looks up at Estelle just like, oh, you too?
Yes. I am Estelle of the Far Star.
Definitely haven't met any mocks that have been so open about it.
I assure you that our perceptions are changing with the times.
I see.
And what is a mock?
That's the race that we are born. Me and this little guy here.
Oh, well, very interesting.
The simplest
Hello,
way
good
to
sir.
describe it is like a mimic, but sentient. It's a bit more complicated than that, actually, but That's the lady's turn.
Oh, yes. No, I've lost more than one servant to a mimic meant for another. But put those thoughts from your mind. It is a pleasure to meet you. My name is Zahir al-Hilali bin Usman Muhib. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Do not expect me to say that over and over again.
Oh, no, of course not. You may simply call me Zahir, if you please.
That's good.
Excuse me. I will need to give the little one some space. As Estelle walks to more of the end of the warehouse.
The little mock expands slightly again in your grip.
Don't like being looked at.
One day, you won't have to worry about eyes looking at you.
I wanna go back in the box.
Are you sure? Is it not more comfortable in my arms?
But nobody looks at me if I'm in a box.
Very true, but one day, being looked at, it won't be so bad.
When is one day?
One day, it's hard to say. It sort of just happens. Sort of just realize it. That's how it was for me.
Not realizing it now.
If you do feel too uncomfortable, I can get the box.
Okay. Please?
Walking up to the box. How big is the box, by the way?
It's not much bigger than the mock is. It's a very small box. This seems to be one of the few mocks that you've met who don't mind being in small enclosed spaces.
All right.
As the mock will hurriedly kind of slurp over and pour itself into this tiny box. You see a small pseudopod creep over and pull the lid on top of it as this small relieved sigh comes out from within.
Oh, dark.
A little sigh comes from Estelle. All right. If you need anything, just knock.
Okay.
And at this, let's switch perspectives again. We're almost there.
let's switch over to Troy's character. So, you received your strange instructions on a piece of paper that was passed to you at a tavern last night. As the morning sun rose in the sky and the time that it mentioned drew near, what did you do to try and follow those instructions? Or did you try to follow those instructions?
Wandered the city for a bit. Almost like he's saying goodbye without actually saying goodbye to like vendors that he's made deals with and people that he's made contact with. And as the sun is going down, part of that letter would click, and he would try to find part of the city where natural sun and the city sun like light are slowly splitting ways, and he would stand in the middle, see if he could see anything appear.
Okay. That being said, roll your choice of either a perception check or a survival check. Okay. You navigate through the city, keeping the 2 points of light in the sky, the sun and Amanator's gift, as points of focus to travel by. And you make your way through the bustling streets that are so familiar to you, with an air of nostalgia and wistfulness, until you reach a point where, indeed, it seems like the 2 points of light are slowly separating from each other, parting ways. And this point is somewhere in the outskirts of the market area, in an area of warehouses. And as you look around to see if something appears or not, there are very few areas that look of any particular interest here. But probably the one thing that strikes you as any different from the surroundings is the fact that here in this spot toward the center of the city, where there are so few shadows as everything is covered in blinding sunlight, there's a rare pool of shade beneath a bridge. Nothing else seems of particular interest in this space.
Kind of just looks around like confused. Alright, warehouses. Fuck it. He just meanders towards the bridge, as if he's like given up on trying to find out who sent this letter.
Okay, as you go ahead and stroll towards the bridge. This time, roll me a perception check.
Potentially can do, depending on the die.
Okay. Ooh, we're narrowly clearing. So, as you stroll on toward the bridge and pass into the shade beneath, a bit of motion catches your eye, and you look down and see that, in spite of the fact that you shouldn't,
For some reason, you have a shadow, an even darker patch amongst the shade that doesn't line up with the light. And as you are walking forward, you see it turn like a compass to point in the direction of a set of double doors in the wall.
Just out of curiosity, with the shadow, if he moves further away from the door, does the shadow grow longer or does it stay with?
The shadow doesn't grow longer, but it does turn to continue pointing towards the doors as you pass by.
All right, you guys piqued my interest. He'll go over to the door and give it 2 good bangs.
As everyone within hears these loud thuds against the door. Oh, come on in, come on in!
He'll slowly push one of the doors open and kind of just peek in to get a visual of what's inside before actually entering.
There's quite an interesting group in here as you peek into the room. And who does everyone see sidling into the warehouse?
So you see a, I don't know, like very typical human male, roughly about slightly over 6 foot tall, long black hair, wearing armor that is dirty as all hell. Little pieces of twigs and grass are like shoved in between parts of the armor. He is carrying on his back a massive crossbow. He has slung over his shoulder, kind of like one sling backpack. And he looks hungover as all hell currently.
Hello, welcome. And you must be, as Gold turns his head to look pointedly over at Silver with a smug expression. Silver looks a little disgruntled and kind of peeks at the paper again. Right. Right. Probably Asher. Right?
You sent me this and you don't know who I am?
Okay, listen, the letters weren't from me, alright? They were from the trained eye who I asked to send them. It's complicated. Anyway, welcome. So, as Gold pipes up. Alright, I was just messing with you. I know this one. Hello, Asher, Mr. Locke. It's been a while. I don't know if you remember me. As glancing over at this tabaxi, you have a vague memory of your caravan guard group taking a contract for the gold standard, and you remember this boisterous tabaxi being the one to offer the contract that time.
Actually, I mean, doesn't ring a bell. I don't know. I did work for you. How much did you pay me again?
You see his face falls a little bit at this. I mean, I thought it was a pretty decent price, but, you know, if you don't remember, I guess I should consider raising my wages a little bit.
I love messing with people that have money. I remember you. Vaguely, but I remember you.
The ears
You
that had
hiring
sunk
me again?
go up again.
I just retired.
Wow. I heard about that. Sad to see you go, but, you know, life calls. So, kind of hiring you again. This is not the same kind of work that I've asked of you before, though. This is something different, a bit of a special case. And it will require some pretty extensive travel. Silver pipes up. To an area you've never been to before, as they're reading off of a paper.
Oh, I mean, intriguing, I'm not gonna lie. Unknown areas mean a lot of hazardous terrains, people, creatures. How much are you paying?
Handsomely. This is no small task, and of course, anyone who's willing to take this upon themselves will find themselves amply rewarded.
Alright, so are you hiring me and the old crew, or any of them here?
Well...
You and all of us, apparently.
Greetings. I am Estelle of the Far Star. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. Gives a bow.
Mm-hmm. What exactly are you hiring us for? Okay. Sorry, don't mean to interrupt you, any of you. Pleasure, really it is, but there's only 4 of us. What are you paying handsomely for us 4 to do?
That is the question, isn't it? Are we all here finally, or is there more?
Silver glances around. Well, there's definitely one more we need.
5 is the magic number. Okay. Oh, well, I guess that's a little better.
Whatever makes you comfortable.
Oh, sorry to interrupt your greetings. You said, Belle from Far what again?
The Far Star.
Never heard of it, but okay, nice to meet you. Simple name, Will?
Willman, yes.
Didn't catch that last part, okay. Who's the man on fire? Because I had a few last night. He is on fire, right? I'm not drunk.
Indeed, I am, good sir. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Zahir al-Hilal ibn Usman Muhib.
He prefers
I
to be
want
called
triple
Zahir.
pay if I have to say that name every single time.
Well, lucky you that the solution to your problem is simply using Zahir when referring to me, for both our convenience.
Perfect. Works out amazingly. Name's Sherlock. Recognize any of you, so I don't think I've escorted any of you anywhere.
From the sounds of it, we're all new to the area.
Relatively.
Oh, I've been here, but I've been here a few times. I mean, I've worked around here quite a bit, but are you all just new to the city? You've never been?
This is a new city.
Definitely a new city.
Fresh off the road. New city to me.
Oh, wow, okay. I hope you all enjoy it. You'll never get used to the whole two sons thing. It kind of drives a few of us mad. That's why we drink. You said there's a 5th. How long do we gotta wait?
Probably not much longer, right, Silver? Yeah, I mean, he should be here by now, honestly. I'm not sure what happened with him. As we switch perspective to our final member. So, Colin,
Yeah.
your character received these strange instructions not on paper but through a message cantrip directly into his mind as he was passing through a crowded marketplace. As he receives that strange message, what does he do?
He pauses briefly and tries to look around and spot, if he can, the person who did this.
Okay, roll me a perception check.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. You look around, kind of doing a slow 360 maybe. And this marketplace is crowded, bustling, people everywhere, people lining the streets, shuffling slowly along to purchase all manner of goods at the many stands on either side of the cobblestone road. And it is very difficult to try and focus on any one person who might have been able to send this message. As you look around, you do meet a few people's eyes, but they just quickly look away again as if they've made awkward eye contact. Hard to say if they did or if they didn't.
Okay. And in response to the particular message I received, I will say, counting that it will, well, taking the chance that it will be heard back. Very well. Do not disappoint me.
You receive only silence in response.
Yeah. And I've been told to follow my shadow. So we'll also continue the confused looking around, because it seems like shadows should be very faint here with two suns.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. And carrying on with that perception check, yeah, they are very faint from most people around here as you glance in between people's shuffling feet and see that most people only have like a very tiny, faint pool of shadow around their feet. But yours seems almost normal length and is pointing in a particular direction. Certainly doesn't match up with the dual lighting above.
Yes. Taking no heed of the crowd around, I crouch down and produce a small ball of flame immediately next to the shadow, seeing if it is dispelled in any way.
Okay. You do so. And you see a couple of people who are walking around you kind of jump back startled and clear the way around you, being like, well, what is... They seem displeased. But the shadow itself doesn't seem to react to the sudden light source. It's odd. It's like it's shedding light onto this shadow, which is still not any different for it. It's just the same shadow.
And I will give a small, somewhat satisfied grunt and stand and walk in the direction the shadow is pointing.
Okay. You do so, heedless of the annoyed pedestrians around you.
But I
And-
put away the fire, just to be clear.
Okay.
But I will be pushing through the crowd because, yeah.
Fair enough. As you shove through the crowd and make your way into some less crowded streets, following your shadow, until again it leads you to the same set of double doors in the shadow of a bridge in a nondescript area of the warehouse district. And you can hear voices inside.
And not knocking, I will one hand on each door, push open the double doors, and stride in.
As a new figure pushes through into this room abruptly with no former announcements, what does everyone see?
They see a lanky person of average height. He's wearing armor but minimal, protecting the chest in a metal of a dark, near black color, and then the rest, the limbs kind of mostly free. He's wearing pants, but short sleeves on the arms. Skin tone is a green, and you do see spots here and there. You see curiously tiny nose and ears kind of like an elf's, except they're also kind of ridged as they point up. He's striding in with what might be permanent resting asshole face. And you see a puff of red hair up the top of his head with the sides shaved away. As he walks in and tries to gauge who's in charge.
Okay. As you make your entrance, as you walk in and try to gauge who's in charge, make an insight check.
Okay.
On a 21 insight check, looking around, you see many of these figures appear to have body language that suggests that they're a little bit lost and not 100% sure what they're doing here. The boisterous-looking Tabaxi has the biggest charisma and presence and bravado, but there's this sense of quiet know-how and leadership from this winter Eladrin sitting on a crate near the back. Probably that one, actually.
Then yeah, Chvata will make a beeline for that person and say, not completely hostilely, but I'm curious what you think you know about me and why you think you have something that I would like to know.
As you stride across the room and stand in front of Silver and say this, you see their eyebrows go up as they look up at you. You're a pretty intimidating figure in this moment, but they don't seem particularly alarmed. Ah, hello, you must be Chipotle? Is that how I say your name?
That's acceptable.
Alright, acceptable is what we strive for here. Pleasure to meet you, Chipotle. I'm Silver. This over here's Gold. And as for knowing things about you, and maybe having information that you'd like to know, well, first off, I've been told that there's been a Gith wandering in the region for the past few years, willing to take work where he can find it, which is great. When they first saw him, he was a little bit beat up and bloody, but nowadays he's looking fine and thriving and doing jobs for all sorts of people. That sound about right?
That's accurate.
Wonderful. As for information that you'd like to know, the sources who told me all this are a group called the Trained Eye. They're information brokers in this region, and they've got their fingers in lots of pies. They know all sorts of things that maybe should be better left unsaid for most people. Any kind of knowledge you're looking for, any kind of news or gossip or rare information to come by, odds are they either have it already or they can find it for you. So, with my partner and I having a particular job that needs to be done, thought that maybe we could set up a trade. Get some information from them, do a bit of service for us, also get some coin for the service from us, of course. And that's what I think I know about you. How's that sounding?
This is fine. I'm interested in your offer.
Excellent. Well, glad that's settled. Claps their hands together and looks around. And with that, we've got everybody that we were waiting on. Gestures towards Chavatal and towards everyone else. Say hello to your newest addition to the team.
Estelle walking towards Throttle. You'd see this strange, multicolored looking lady with a purple cloak with symbols, now that you get to see, have patterns that almost look like eyes, and beneath it is a scaled vest, and to the side behind the cloak you would see a shield and what looks like a straight sword. I'll be keeping my eye on you. I am Estelle of the Far Star.
So I will ask the TM.
Mm-hmm.
The substance that Estelle appears to be pervaded by, does this look familiar?
Roll your choice of Arcana or History with disadvantage.
Aha. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Or rather, no.
Yeah, this woman who's walked up to you with her skin kind of opalescent and shining in different colors, and it's something that you can't recall ever encountering before. Maybe some mystery of this strange place that is Toril that you haven't really encountered yet.
Okay. Then I will merely respond. It remains to be seen whether your name will be relevant.
A little of a glare as she walks away. Definitely the most discourteous introduction she gave.
Well, I see that we are using the full swatch of colors for this crew. My name is Wilnan. A pleasure to meet you.
Chavatal will nod.
Greetings. My name is Zahir al-Hilal ibn Usman Muhib, and please do not assume that I am being too forward, but are you of the Zerai or the Yankee variety?
He's Yankee.
Ah, yes, your proud demeanor very much speaks to that.
Do you have much knowledge of us?
No, unfortunately, I've only met one or two of your kind. My father had one of each in his harem.
A brief cringe of disgust at that.
I'm Asher. Finally, all five together, so just tell us what the hell we're gonna be doing.
As you look around and see that Gold is kind of standing with paws together with this noticeable cringe on his face at these interactions. Right, yes. Okay, so now we can, now that we've gotten introductions out of the way, hope that you'll all be able to have a great working relationship with each other, and, get this task done, as it is very important. Right. So, let's get down to business, shall we? Okay. He kind of sends a glare over in Silver's direction. Silver just kind of shrugs. Okay, so we've got a problem on our hands, and we are hoping that you all can not solve it necessarily, but give us some insight into its nature. Long story short, so I am the head of the Gold Standard Trade Company. We send caravans very frequently to locations all across interior Faerun to export and import various goods. Recently, and by recently I mean about a month ago, a shipment of ours that was meant to come from the nation of Sespec did not arrive. At this, he kind of removes this furled map from a table nearby and spreads it across this large crate in front of all of you. Hang on. Okay. So, as I'm sure that you are all aware, we are currently here in the wonderful city of Elversalt. I said as I was on the wrong layer. Our supply run that was meant to be coming from Sespec was meant to come along the trade roads and then over the sea to us, but it never arrived. Which is strange, as this shipment was to be completed by the Seven Sons Merchant Coster, which is a very reputable organization we've worked with many times in the past. So naturally, we tried to contact them about this delay, but were unsuccessful in sending messages by courier. And messages of the magical variety, well, they
have been responding strangely. So, about maybe a 10-day or two ago, we sent a group of my employees and some mercenaries, I suppose, to go directly to Sespec and see what the source of the trouble is. And they've not returned. And sadly, we seem to have lost all contact with them. He digs in his pocket at this and brings out this smooth river stone with a little indent in it, like a worry stone. We gave the leader of their company one of these to keep in touch with us, but, well, hear for yourself what happens every time we try to use it. He kind of takes the stone and rubs it between his paws and says, "Iris, can you hear me? Please, if you're getting this, give us some sign you're okay. Please?" And then he holds it up. And from this stone comes this bizarre, warbling noise. Almost like the crackle of flames, but with this strange, distorted sound over top of it. The sound lasts for about 5 seconds, and then peters off into silence. Damn, I was hoping maybe this time. In any case, something is very clearly amiss, and we have no knowledge of what it might be. The last time that we heard from this company, they were nearing the borders of Sespec and reported back that they could see a faint cloud of smoke on the horizon. And that's the last that we heard from them. So, this time, glancing over towards Silver, we took care to handpick this group and include many individuals who are not only seasoned in their fields, but have shown the ability to survive in potentially hostile areas. Now, I know that this sounds very dangerous, and yes, it very well may be, but this issue is not merely something that is a matter of trade groups. I have connections with all sorts of people in this city and beyond, and multiple friends have told me that they too are unable to contact people within the borders of Sespec that they know. So, we would ask that you take this journey, admittedly a long one, but we can get you part of the way very quickly, and just give us some inclination of what's going on. Alright? If you find anything threatening, you don't have to engage with it. Please stay safe, but we need to know what's happening. We have people in there.
I'll do what I can. I can assure you.
Thank you so much. So, if you're willing, as he looks around at all of you, would you consider taking on this task, large though it may be, I can promise you that we will reward you accordingly to the risk.
I will happily assist.
Please make sure that your people get the information. I desperately need it.
Silver pipes up. Of course. Of course. That's high on our list of priorities, don't you worry. And as soon as we get that information, as you are going to be busy, we can contact the rest of your community, if that would be all right. You're a very capable agent, but I'm sure that they have others who would also be happy to take this task upon themselves, if need be, and time is of the essence.
If it falls to them, then I would suggest that you use the name Spackle. He is my commanding officer who sent me on this in the first place. It'll help you get things expedited.
Spackle. As Silver busts out a little fountain pen and scribbles this name down hurriedly. Okay, got it. Got it for sure this time. Thank you. Yes. Gold looks around at everyone else.
The information promised to me is more than enough to entice me for this.
Wonderful.
I'm merely curious how you plan to expedite this trip.
Well, alas, we can only expedite it so much. But I've made quite a few connections in my time. And I do have a contact in Westgate who, well, there's a place in Elversalt that you can go that will get you directly to Westgate in a flash. Sadly, that's as close as we can get you, and you will need to take a ship from there. It's a journey of a few days by ship, which you will be taking to Reth. Or to Fath, depending on how long you want to spend on board. Fath would probably be simpler if you don't mind an extra day's travel.
I see, but could we not take this here straight and take it directly to Arabar?
That's a great question, and one that I discussed with a contact recently who also lost contact with people in Sespec. This friend of mine tried that approach and hasn't heard from their people aboard that ship in some time. So due to the nature of not having any idea what's going on over there, perhaps it would be safer to set down a little farther away.
Take a slower approach. I understand.
Risk it if you wish. It is your decision what route to take on this journey, but this is my recommendation. A little bit of caution doesn't hurt.
I agree with the assessment to take it by land at the last stretch. Better to have something that is more reliable underneath your feet when everything else is unreliable.
Gold nods enthusiastically. That's what I was saying, yes. In any case, the Emerald Way will take you the rest of the way on foot. It's a pretty reliable trade road. Looks over.
Well, Gold, you heard me once before. You know my fees are normally half now, half later. For preparation of travel and gear. Sounds like we don't have any prep time really, so it's kind of what we all have on our backs.
One thing I'd like to
Standing-
ask is... Oh. I'm sorry, Asher.
No, what? Questions are great before going out on a caravan, so
When I entered, I had a gray mare that was at the stables. I'm assuming that I will not be able to take him onto the boat.
Ooh, alas, most ships going to and from Westgate, and in general, don't usually allow pack animals on board. It's really been quite inconvenient with caravans, but something about local ecosystems.
If you could do me a favor and look after him in my absence. He has a cloak, same color and pattern as mine, to differentiate.
Of course, be happy to. Certainly.
is there any way you can get word?
Go on.
Is there any way you can get word to Hoth? Maybe secure wagon, horse, something. It's not just 5 random people walking the road.
Alas, Hoth is not one of the places I have many connections with yet. But
Then perhaps a stipend to purchase such steeds once we arrive.
that we can certainly do. And when you mentioned no time to prepare, you can take the rest of the day today and maybe some of tomorrow as well, though I ask that you not dally any longer than that. And we'll provide you with some funds to supply yourselves as you see fit. Does that sound agreeable?
It does.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Asher, I'd be relying on your guidance. I'm not familiar with the city. If you could help with supplies.
Yeah, not a problem. There's a few people I keep in contact with. I mean, more hurrah, I guess, for me. What about you there? I'm just gonna say it. You look pissed all the time. Are you okay?
I am fine.
What do you expect from space warmongers?
If you do have knowledge of the city, then I would trust you also with obtaining supplies. I've only just arrived and I don't know this area.
Right. Agreeing with the group as well, but also, does anyone here have any dietary restrictions?
That's an odd question.
Well, I don't prefer to eat anything poisoning, if that can be avoided.
So not much of a drinker?
Oh, no, yes. I am happy to imbibe in the spirits of this land.
A joke. Alright.
Are you
And- Well, I'm a chef by
filmmaker,
trade.
chef? Oh. Need anything picked up while we're out, food-wise?
Yes, I had planned to peruse the produce.
All right. Well, the meat we can always find in the sea. We're gonna be on a ship, and once we hit land, probably scrounge up some venison or something for you.
I'm a bit more interested in herbs, vegetables, fruits.
I see. Do you have any particular ones that you would like?
Well, I do make a mean tomato soup, so tomatoes.
Huh. I
Estelle,
happen
roll a
to
history
love.
check.
All right.
Yes, tomatoes, basil.
That's a 9.
Hmm. Yeah, no. When he says tomato soup, yeah, something just sounds vaguely familiar about that, but you can't put your finger on it.
It's probably the hunger. Does sound good.
I do have a little left over from breakfast if you wish to try.
It would not become me to eat at this time. Besides,
Okay.
we have to set off for preparations.
You're right.
For my part, make whatever food you wish. All the food here seems equally distasteful. I will help you in hunting down meat. I'm like looking at Asher.
Lovely. Okay.
Well, I dislike the taste of gnomes. So if we could avoid eating gnomes, that would be good.
You've eaten a gnome before?
Yes. It's my father had a thing for cooking small things. He seemed to find it funny.
Didn't think I need
With-
to say this as a rule, but as a general rule for my cooking, I avoid sentient life.
Yes.
That is a good idea. I don't think I've had anything thinking that tasted very good.
It also leaves a lot of suffering in its path.
Stock up on a lot of jerky. Alright, so everyone's in. How much are you going to give us for preparation?
Let's see. So you're going to need to stock up on supplies, and you're looking to purchase a wagon when you arrive on the shore. And so that would be carry the two. Silver rolls their eyes. You're gonna have to give him a minute. For someone who runs a trade company, he doesn't really like math very much.
Doesn't he just reach into his pockets and just start pulling coins out?
Gold kind of looks offended at this. What kind of simple-minded barbarian do you take me for? I mean, don't get me wrong, Elversalt is a prosperous and reputable city, but I'm not trying to get mugged. Do you think I'm stupid?
The Golden Standard Trading Company. You have
Gold?
the money. Come on, man.
Alright, fine.
The best
Right.
traders that I've seen are the ones that use their words to strike a deal.
Didn't have to work
quite-
for a week after you paid me and my crew.
Oh, so you do remember.
Yeah, sure. All right. Yeah.
All right, well, wagons go for about 40 gold, I think, so I'll set that aside for your stipend for when you arrive. As for supplies before you all leave, let's say 20 gold each.
$20 gold. I believe that'll be more than enough for me.
And are you setting aside funds for a beast to pull the wagon, or will one of us be doing that?
Oh, damn, I forgot. Okay, hang on. As he starts doing mental math again. Okay, so that's another probably around 30 to 50 gold for a horse. Okay, so let's set aside, let's call it 80 gold for the wagon and horse. That should be good, right? And 20 gold each for supplies.
Should we split that 80 gold amongst us, or is someone going to hold on to that?
Well, it's all going to the same place, right?
Right.
Well, I'm more saying that we all just met, and we're all strangers to one another.
If you're so worried, we can divide it equally, and when the time comes, we divvy
If
it
someone
up.
comes up short, they owe a lot to the party.
A trust
Yeah,
exercise
washing.
in that way.
Washing clothes, polishing boots. Get work.
That's why they call that?
I call it. I mean, you ever do 12-hour march, especially after ill weather? Blood gets everywhere.
We'd usually just go back into the caravan.
Yeah, I'm not the lucky type. I'm the one that's on the outside, making sure you get to where you need to go safe. I was at 36 gold everyone gets for supplies and trust exercise, as Ilman so politely called it.
36.
Don't spend it all in one place. Unless that place has wagons and horses. But thank you all so much for accepting this. Really.
I have to ask at least this once before leaving and doing this
Sure.
thing. Why didn't you just ask the trained eye to, like, but if they know so much about us and got the letters to us, then they get information back to you?
Well, about that. Silver pipes up at this. Yeah, so, they actually sent some of their agents along with the first group that we sent to investigate. And we see how that went.
I'll be very curious to meet these
Or-
trained eyes eventually.
Well, it's kind of hard to do. They tend to lay low unless people are looking for services. I'm only able to meet up with them because, GoldenEye sometimes ask for favors from them and give favors in exchange, as do a bunch of the other merchants in the area. They're kind of like a quick catalog to finding anything you want to buy in the city, so a lot of the merchants around here have ties with them.
I see.
Yeah, but notice that you said you sent some before us. Out of curiosity, how many groups did you send before gathering the 5 of us?
Just the one. When we realized the danger, we didn't want to keep throwing more people to the dogs without gathering people who were more experienced and capable of handling some danger. So we got some people who we think are experts.
All right.
Also, should we also have one of those sending stones as well to keep in contact?
I was waiting to see if anybody would think to ask about that. Yeah, obviously. As Silver reaches into a pocket and holds up another smooth river stone with a little indent in it. Who wants it?
The hell would I want rock?
I'll hold on to it.
All right, here you go. Hands it off to you. But if for whatever reason that stops functioning, just leave. Just find a way to get word to us in another way. All right, don't risk yourselves for all this.
I think we're all capable of making our own judgment calls. We've all made it this far.
I had a team that I could trust. I just met you for. It's gonna be a fun trip.
Yes, we'll have plenty of time to get to know each other on the boat.
Yes. And we should probably head out. We're burning daylight.
Out here, we're
Valuable
not.
preparation time.
Yes, I do want to grab some produce before it wilts.
All right. Gather your gear and let's head out, I guess. I'll show you the streets.
Oh, one more thing before you leave. Right. So, if you are able to get into Suspect with no problems, if you are able to, I would ask that you seek out a man named Alvund in the capital of Ormpetar, as he's the leader of that branch of the merchant coster that is in charge of our caravan. Of course, the shipment is not the issue anymore, but if someone has information on the situation there, I'm sure he will.
All right.
Aside from that, safe travels. Yeah, be careful out there. We'll take care of any loose ends over here.
All right.
Well, this
So
should
walks-
be exciting.
Walks over to the box.
Yeah. I'll show you all how to shop. Hey.
Not how, where.
as everyone is talking about shopping and Astel walks over to the box. Silver kind of catches her eye. Do you want to take that with you, or do you want me to handle getting that safely to where it needs to go? Kind of glances over in Chivatal's direction.
You'll be safer in your hands once you contact Spackle.
Okay. Don't worry. I'll arrive safe and sound.
Yep. And a small whisper at the box. You're going to be okay. Some really good friends of mine are going to take you home.
You hear a faint snoring in response.
Sweet dreams.
Asher would like to approach Gold before leaving. Just ask him. Can you doesn't have to be a big caravan. Hell, it could just be stuff around the city. Can you just hand my crew a job or two every now and then?
Of course. In fact, I actually asked them if they might be interested in this as well, but they said that they have some other job they want to do in Cormier. But
For them.
I'll keep an eye out for them. They're a good team. I've relied on them a couple times in the past.
Hopefully we'll be back in Flash. Doubt that. And Asher just starts walking out, and hopefully people are following him.
Estelle walking out.
They're here right behind you.
Chivatal is also heading out.
Wilnan looks back at Gold and Silver.
Gold nods with a grateful smile on his face, and Silver gives a very casual little wave.
Wilnan waves goodbye, wondering how the hell this all came together.
And with that thought, as you all exit this building and back onto the bustling streets of Elversalt to prepare for your long and interesting journey ahead. That's where we're gonna end session 1.
Yay!
Yeah.
Hey! We got our party! This is
Hooray.
gonna
Let's
be
go.
interesting.